Michael, how do you encapsulate this season, the good and the bad?
Yeah, I think in a lot of ways there was improvement. Certainly when you talk in terms of the way we were able to play at times, the number of games we won, the ability to take where we were last year and improve on that. Obviously, when your season ends the way it does, then there's always going to be a bitter taste left in your mouth, and so that's not something that goes away right away. That's for sure. And so over this next stretch, it's important that everybody continues to look back on the year. What was good, what wasn't, things we need to improve on, ways that we can all improve ourselves in the off season, so that next season we're able to improve and make it an even better year and have even more to show for ourselves.
Michael, after last season, you talked about the need for the right kind of player to be part of this team, experience, leadership. Do you feel that, how close do you feel this team is to getting the right cast of characters?
Yeah, it's an ongoing process for every team around the world, no matter the sport, no matter no matter how your season ended. The game never stops for anybody, and so you have to always look to improve your group, add to it, add different types of players, different types of personalities. Like I said before, I think in many ways we made good progress this year in terms of the core of our group, in terms of the quality. But having said that, for any team, especially teams that don't play right up until the very end, you're forced to continue to look hard at yourself, and try to find ways to make your team even better. And I know that's what we'll continue to do as we try to again make ourselves even better and continue to push until we're able to have the type of real success that everybody wants.
At the end of last season, a lot of talk about continuity and stability in the team. Is that another thing that's going to carry over into this offseason?
I don't know. I'm the wrong person to ask for that.
Michael, it's obviously up to Greg to decide how to improve the team in the offseason. Do you have any thoughts? Where would you like to see the team?
In all ways, like I just said, trying to build a team that can have real success, not just in the short run, but in the long term. A team that can, in a league that is very competitive and very very equal on so many days, have a team that can over the course of the season be consistently in that upper echelon of teams, and then when the playoffs come, be ready to really compete and to really to have a real go right up until the very end. To do that, you need it's improving in every way. Like I said before, adding the right types of players, adding the right types of personalities. Young players with talent and ability, older players who have experience. It's again, you're trying to in all ways make what we have even better. And so I think it's it's not to take anything away from the progress that we were able to make this year, but it's important. Nobody's happy with going out in the first round of the playoffs. It's not even close. Leaves a bad taste in your mouth. That's not something that's going away anytime quickly. So it's important that we're able to use that frustration, that anger, and find the right ways to move ourselves forward.
Does it still rankle, Mark, the exit?
Yeah, absolutely.
Was there a time this year when you thought you guys were Eastern Conference contender? Vanny, after you guys won at DC, spoke about how you guys were someone you reckoned with, and so many highs compared to so many lows. Do you think you guys were a contender?
Look, the margins in the league are so small. With 2 games to go, we were in second place, albeit in a very tight conference. So to answer your question, there's moments along the way where if we were able to handle things a little better, if we were able to take care of things in a better way, if we were able to be a little bit better, I think we were right there. The table will tell you that. I think aside from Red Bull and Dallas, the 10 teams that made the playoffs were all separated, by 4 points. And so in large part, where you finished in that group was based on how you did in your last, let's say, 2 or 3 games. And obviously we were able to get a big win against Red Bull, but then lost a tough game home to Columbus, and then went on the road and lost to Montreal. And so, if the reality is just that if we had been able to take care of things in a better way in those last 2 games, that we very easily could have been, in your words, the top of the conference. But having said that, we didn't. That's the reality, and when you're not able to, then it's important that everyone is able to look and to understand why, and really evaluate things so that we're able to improve on everything for next season.
Michael, it takes time obviously for players and coaches to gel. Do you feel that there aren't all the right pieces in place yet? Do you feel that this team failed to perform to its potential?
I'm not gonna get drawn into saying potential. What does that mean? At the end of the day, we weren't able to. We weren't able, when the end of the year came and the real big games came, we weren't able to do what so many of us wanted and go on a real run and see if we could really be playing until the end. And so I don't know what other people's idea of our potential was. All I know is that when the season ends the way it does, then it's it leaves you frustrated and angry and feeling like there was more there for us. It's in any sport, again, when you get to the end of the year and the games get real big, the details are the ones that can make the difference, and obviously you need a little bit of luck at the right time, but you need to feel like your team is at its absolute best when the games are most important. And certainly in those ways we weren't able to do what we wanted at the end of the year, and that part is very frustrating.
Do you have any thoughts on why the team wasn't able to rise to the occasion?
Certainly when you look at our team over the course of the year, it doesn't take a genius to figure out that when you look purely at the number of games that we played and the number of goals we conceded, that it's too many. It's gonna you make things very difficult for yourself if you're having to score as many goals as we did just to give yourself a chance. And so, look, that's by no means me pointing the finger at any one person or at the defenders. Or look, we're all in this together. You step on the field, 11 guys, ready to give everything in attack and defense. And so the fact that we weren't able, in little moments, in little stretches throughout the year, you had the feeling that we were starting to, things were improving enough, and we were ready to make a real step in terms of our ability to, not to defend, not give away as many goals, but just when there were some moments where just when you thought maybe we were ready to take a real good step, then we'd go backwards in some ways. And so, anyways, going back to your question, you have good teams that are going to have a chance to win something. You have to be able to win games at times 1-0, and certainly if you look at again just the number of goals that we conceded and the number of games that we played, I think everybody would agree that we let ourselves down in that regard.
Greg said that you guys, or he felt that some of the players were nervous heading into the last game. Did you get that sense that there was some nerves and that led to the 3-0 at halftime?
Look, everybody prepares themselves differently for games. Everybody handles the emotion differently. For some, there's always going to be nerves. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It's when you play all season to get to the end of the year when everything's on the line, then it's normal that the tension is high, and obviously. We didn't do anything to help ourselves in regards to dealing with the tension or the emotion of certainly the game, the playoff game in Montreal. When you start the game the way we did, when you're down 1 and 2-0 so quickly, then it's certainly not going to help. Not going to help settle anybody down in that regard.
Thanks, guys.
Oh, sir, is there one more?
Yeah. Michael, Seba obviously had a tremendous impact on the team in the league this year. You were the player probably most familiar with him, having played against him in the league. Were you at all surprised by the way he adapted and how much he impacted the league this year?
No. He had a very, very good season. No two ways about that. Helped our team, in terms of the attacking, in terms of what he gave to our team in the attacking part of the field. It was tremendous, very special. There's no two ways about that. And obviously. yeah, nothing more to say to that. So he had a great season in every way, and you know, certainly the fact that he was able to win Golden Boot, and I think we'll have a real chance to win MVP is something that he should be proud of.